Hello everyone, how are you doing? I'm back. It feels like I've completely forgotten everything to do with YouTube and how you do it. So I'm probably gonna speak into the mic wrong, I'm probably gonna turn around loads and do all the wrong things. Bear with me. I wanted to jump back on and say hi. I'm gonna be doing the makeup look I'm wearing today, which really is just kind of going through my 2022 favorites. I wanted to share those with you and apply them while we chat, catch up. I want to share more about what's happening in my business and in my life at the moment as well, so I'm excited to talk more about that as we chat. And I'm also hosting a free training, a brand new free training for creative freelancers. So if you're a makeup artist, photographer, stylist, or you know someone that is, I'm going to leave the link in the description box, and it is called, I should say, not will be called. It's called How to Book Celebrity Clients in Any Market and Double Your Booking. So if you are looking for more tips and more support and advice around building your career as a creative, that is something I'm very passionate about, and I will leave that free training in the description box for you. Let's take the makeup off and go back to the beginning and pretend I still know how to do YouTube. I have my makeup bag here, it's the violet grey one, and I'm gonna share with you, I think these, it's fair to say, are my kind of favorite products of 2022. Is anyone else still a bit weirded out by saying 2023? I am. So I'm just gonna do my makeup with you and go through what's in my makeup bag, what I've been reaching for a lot. You're definitely gonna see some that won't be a surprise. And then there's a few kind of late additions that I've been really loving as well. So let's get into it. I'm gonna need a mirror, aren't I? See, this is how out of practice I am. I don't have the tools. And I wore a white bra with a black top. Again, you're getting all the good stuff. I'm gonna start with brushes actually, because I think two of the products that are kind of new to me and were new to me from 2022 were the e.l.f. brushes. And I, generally speaking, use a lot of the Chanel makeup brushes in my personal makeup. In my pro kit, obviously, I use all different kinds of brushes by all different brands. But I wanna say the e.l.f. brushes are so good, and the price point is amazing. So the two that I have used all year, I mean, they've pretty much rubbed off I've used them that much. I think this is the Ultimate Blending. So it's kind of like a flat top kabuki, really, really nice. And then I have the Buffing Foundation brush, which if I put them side by side, you can see this one has a little bit more of like a rounded head. This one's a little bit flatter. So I love this one for cream blush as well. Both really good brushes I've loved for foundation. The favorite that was a very, very last minute discovery at the top end of 2022, and I'm gonna apologize in advance because it's pricey, it is the La Mer Cushion Foundation. Now, Lindsay Kelk had told me for ages how much I needed to try this. She was not wrong. It's so good, and I'm gonna put it on in a minute, but the other one that was a favorite in 2022 was also Les Beige, the Chanel foundation. Now this one was the Les Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch, which isn't the same. There's another one that has slightly less coverage. This one has more pigment, and this is for my more, when I'm kind of my summer tan, this is the color I use, which is B30. And I'm just gonna go in, and I think, to sum up this one, it just feels like my skin on a really good day, which feels like that's like a real Harryism, right? Something I would say a lot. But I do feel like it's the perfect level of coverage for me. Like, it looks very natural, looks very believable as my skin. It kind of just tones down the redness. And I would say as well, considering it's more of like a dewy finish foundation, you can make it more dewy, you can make it less dewy. It's just a really, really good all-rounder. So you can see, again, the glow coming through is really pretty. I'm wearing the shade Vanilla, Warm Vanilla 23. Okay, so one of my favorite tricks I'm gonna share with you that I've been doing a lot, and it's also a way I can show you my next favorite product of 2022, which is the Chanel Multi-Stick in Sculpting. I think this is my like second or third one, and I still think it's the best highlighter ever made to date, okay? Now, if you want a glowy look, but you don't want too much glow, you want to control the glow, try putting this on before you do concealer. So if you put your highlighter on under your concealer, you can kind of have that glow from within, quite literally. And again, you could put this under your foundation as well, but I find I like it sandwiched, that sounds gross, between my foundation and between my concealer. Then I put my concealer on. So I'm actually gonna leave that for a minute because I wanna do everything else before I do concealer. So while I do my eyebrows, the favorite of 2022 was the Hourglass brow pencils in general. I went between the arch sculpting and the micro brow, I think it was called. But yeah, let's explain where I'm at, let's catch up and what's been happening, because there's been a lot of things going on in my world. So we bought a home, we bought our first house in LA, which was crazy exciting, and we've been doing lots of reno to that and enjoying the process of that. I have been working so hard on my coaching business for creative freelancers. So Freelance with Freedom, we have been helping so many creative freelancers. So at first we used to work with just makeup artists. Now we are working with makeup artists, photographers, hairstylists, models. We've got garden designers, we've got image consultants, we've got, who else do we have? I think I said stylists. Anyone who needs bookings, basically, we are building like the ultimate community so that they feel seen, they feel heard, and they feel supported as they grow their business. And really what's happened for me, I think this past, well, not just this past year, but what I've been moving into is realizing what my mission is. And that really is that I want creative freelancers to reclaim the title of entrepreneur. Because if you think about it, like, we've never had a boss, we've never had like a salary, we've never had like traditional security, what we think that looks like in the sense of like 9 to 5, or what we were told was very different about the way we worked. And I just think like we're born entrepreneurs, creatives, and I really want us to kind of like reconnect with that word and reconnect like with that identity. So I feel very excited, and my clients have been doing amazing things. They're booking their own celebrity clients, they're building their own brands, they're working at fashion weeks, they're traveling the world, and they're working with clients that really excite them. So it's been incredibly exciting. And I do want to talk more about the how, like how they're doing it here. So I'm excited to kind of share more of the things I help my clients with and what that looks like. So not really a new discovery, because I feel like I'd always used the big hair gel version of this, but I finally in 2022 got my hands on Got to Be Glued for Brows and Edges gel. Yeah, so it is the like gel in the mascara, and it's so good. I just feel like the trick with this is not using too much, as I think is the same with all kind of gel mascaras. So again, I just feel like the smallest amount of this just creates that separation. And if I ever find it kind of removes the product underneath, I can always go back in and just add more brow product. But I love the way this holds, and I love the fact that it just stays in place. Okay, so when it came to eyes this year, not this year, 2022, I'm gonna say that a lot, you're not gonna be surprised by the colors I went for. So I feel like my everyday, day-to-day makeup is generally a shade of brown, and I will never not be excited by a brown eyeshadow. That's just who I am. So Chanel, is it the Rouge collection #1? I think it was from, that was the collection it was originally, but it is the one that is called Candeur Experience. It's still such a good quad. I just feel like I reached for that so much. The other one I reached for a lot in 2022 was the Victoria Beckham eye brick in tweed. Again, I just feel like the colors in this, these two especially, I have to be honest and say I didn't really use the purple much, but these and the red, I mean, they're pretty much the same, right? And then I was using a lot of eye pencils for day to day. So I feel like the Bobbi Brown Taupe eye crayon, I still love that and use that all the time. And then the Sunnies Face eye pencil, eye crayon in Earth. This was a really good one for like smudging into the lash line when I just wanted a quick go-to eye look. 2022 was the year I finished up my Sephora. This was the last one I had. I bought like 5 of these. I think the shade was like It Girl or something, or number 14. It was their colorful waterproof eyeliner pen. And they don't do that anymore. They reformulated it to be this one, which is supposedly the same, but it's definitely a much darker, more chocolatey shimmer brown, which I like. I do really like it, but the red tone in this used to make my eyes look so green, and I loved it. So if anyone has a good recommendation for this, please leave it in the comments. And so if I was having a colourful eye moment, the ones I would reach for were the Violette yeux paint. I feel like these colours, especially like pinks for me, feel very much in my comfort zone the same way brown does. So again, navy, I was experimenting with a lot with navy as eyeliner, and these work so well because you can wear them as liner, you can wear them as shadows, and I just really love them. So they were kind of my go-to when I wanted some color. The other shadow I still use so much that it has pretty much finished is the Trinity London Eye to Eye in Queen. Like this color is like a sort of reddy, pinky, antique-y color. And it's just really pretty. It's one of those ones that almost looks, what is it called? Duochrome, like almost has like the two different colors, and I really love it. So I'm gonna do my very quintessential Harry Day look using most of these products. So I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite eye crayons, the Bobbi Brown Longwear Eye Stick in Taupe. Again, this color. If you like matte groundwork, I feel like this is just that little bit warmer, like a smidge warmer. It's not super warm. I'm just looking for my makeup brush. But I also love the formula of these because they act like a really good eye primer. And then this is where I would usually take kind of like a deeper shade of brown and just work it into my lash line just for a little bit of extra definition. So again, I appreciate this is nothing groundbreaking, but I think sometimes it's the small details that make a look. So just a little bit of brown smudged into the lash line using the Victoria Beckham tweed palette. And then I usually just kind of smudge with my finger a little bit, just kind of like tap it. Okay, mascara, it is still Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. I have yet to find a better mascara on my difficult eyes. I definitely feel like it is, because it's a tubing mascara, it is just, it stays on so well and yet removes when you want it to remove, if that makes sense. So I like that it's easy to get off. It comes off with water, but it really, really does lengthen and hold a curl. So I'm gonna try and do, let's look at camera, so you can see one eye versus the other. It is so good. And I think I'm on like maybe my 7th tube now. Like I've used this for so long. Okay, concealer. Now this is controversial because I still love the Dior Skin Correct. It's still one of my favorite ever concealers. However, my go-to currently has been the Shisedo Skin Refresh, and honestly it's because it's less messy. I feel like my Dior one, I've noticed it on my past 2 ones that I brought, they have become quite messy, like around the top of the tube, so I don't like to travel with them. I also do love how small this is. So still loving the ColourPop F5 brush. I think it's called the small fluffy face brush. So this is now where I like to have had that highlighter, like the Chanel multi-stick underneath. So I've still got the glow, but it's a little bit more controlled and it looks like an all-over glow. So I'm just taking that under the eyes. On to, hands down, my most used bronzing product of 2022. And again, I think I'm noticing a pattern. Anything that's small and easy for traveling. I traveled so much in 2022. It just stayed in my makeup bag. So the Emcosmetics So Soft in Summer, I think I need to get a new one soon because I don't think there's much left to wind up, but this is the color. It is so, so good for bronzing. And I do a swipey swipe, a swipey swipe, and then this is where I go back to the brush I have from Emcosmetics. So you can see it's just such a good, and this actually comes, I think this comes in 4 different shades. And it's not a sticky cream. I feel like it's pretty long wearing, but I love kind of on the bridge of my nose, on my cheeks. And again, you can layer if you need to. I tend to take it into my hairline, into my temples. And in the same theme of small and perfectly sized is Milk Makeup, the lip and cheek stick in Work. So again, this I loved years ago and forgot about, and they kindly resent it me, and I was like, oh, I remember how much I love it. So again, I just find with my browns, it's such a good like rosy tone, but without being too red, if that makes sense. I also love, what was the shade called? It's the more like plummy one, is really nice as well. If I'm doing more kind of like plummy lipstick mood. But again, just such a good color. And I do use this on my lips as well. Again, it's such a great kind of multi-purpose product. You can get this in the bigger size, but I love, let me hold it up so you can see the color a little bit better. It's so, so good. So powder, I'm not a huge powder wearer. However, I did really enjoy the Westman Atelier. This is the Vital Press Skincare powder in the translucent shade. And again, just adding just a little bit to knock back anywhere that I didn't want the shines, and just kind of around the T-zone. So a little bit there, but everywhere else, I like to keep the sheen. So let's go on to lips. There were 2 pencils and 2 pencils only pretty much I used in 2022. Definitely did more neutral lips. I didn't really wear much lipstick in 2022, so maybe I'm going to try and get back into that in 2023. Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk. Who doesn't own it? It's so good. And then the Emcosmetics, this is rubbed off now, the Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner in Fawn. This one's that little bit more peachy. I don't think this is gonna, oh no it is, okay, there we go. So if I put them next to each other, you can see that Pillow Talk is a bit more pink and Fawn is a little bit more peachy, but I just love both of them. I feel like they are so, so good. So I'm gonna use Fawn now and just line my lips. And then just taking my finger, I'm just going to blend a little bit. And then lipstick wise, there were definitely a few variations of neutral lipsticks. So the Rowan Beauty liquid lip balm, loved these. I feel like these were my most worn products because these were definitely my go-to when I had no time. This mascara, concealer, done, was very much a vibe of 2022 when I was traveling. The shade Dodie, which is this one, it's kind of like a, how would we describe this? Kind of like an Albany nude. It's got like a little bit of red in there, like a smidge. But it's such good color. And then Lola. So Lola was more my kind of like nude pink that I was obsessed with. So I also have to give an honorable mention to Bite Beauty, their Agave Plus Intensive Lip Mask. Now, I know, sadly, they are no more. However, I went onto Amazon and I found this on Amazon. And this is gonna last me a long time. I had the mini before. And when it came to lip balms, there was nothing I found as good as this. So I sleep in lip balm. It's always like my last skincare step. And I just feel like if you're looking for an incredible lip balm, this is it. Like if you have really, really dry lips, this is what you need. So that definitely gets an honorable mention of like favorite lip balm of 2022. Shiseido lipstick, this was the Color Gel Lip Balm in 111. This color I wore a lot as well. This was a really, really good kind of sheeny, pinky, and there's a little bit more translucence in that one. Is that a word? We're taking it. And then the Chanel Rouge Allure Literate. I'm probably butchering that. This is one of the, I think these are refillable as well. So this color Dave got me for Christmas, which obviously I did give some guidance as to what I wanted. But I love this color, and this is one that I've been reaching for a lot. Again, I tend to just kind of like pat. I wouldn't say I fully commit because it's quite pigmented, and then just smush. And this, I will find the number and put it in the description box, because the description box, yes, that is what it's called on YouTube. I feel so out of practice, honestly. This, I think the number wasn't on the, it's not on the bullet, it's only on the box. So I think I wrote it down somewhere because I knew I would want to repurchase it. So white bra straps not included. Let's pretend they're not here. That, I believe, is all my favorites from 2022 on my face. Not all of them on my face, but the majority of them on my face. The things that I wore daily, things that I have repurchased. Some were gifted, some were things I bought with my own money. I love them all dearly and highly recommend them. So don't forget about the free training I have if you are a makeup artist or you're a creative freelancer and you are looking to double your bookings in 2023, or you want celebrity clients yourself and want to see how I did it. Come watch my free training on the 7th of February. I'll leave the link in the description box. And I'm excited to talk more about building a business as a creative and share a little bit more behind the scenes of what I'm doing in my business, what I'm up to, and of course play with makeup too. So I hope you guys are all doing really, really well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love you to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.